Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. A happier you leads to a healthier you radio podcast. I'm your host. Y'all know who I am by now. Thank you guys for joining me for this podcast and this channel on YouTube and my other platforms. If you guys like the commentary and you want to hear more, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification button to receive notifications of my videos. If you want to see my podcast on streaming companies, please go to Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Google, Cashbox, Radio Plus, and many other streaming platforms. And my podcast is there as well. If you guys want to see all my podcasts, all you got to do is come to my name and you'll see my podcast. Or you can just go to this one, The Happier You Leads to a Healthier You, and you can pretty much see it there. You can also become a member of my podcast as well on Spreaker.com as well. I am a certified recovery life coach, all about helping people on their paths, their journeys, and their purpose to a new and better you. This particular recovery life coaching podcast is all about health and wellness, internally and externally. Now, this particular podcast is about what is the real and correct way to be healthy internally and externally. Now, the reason that this is important is because when it comes to internal and external health, there is a extreme difference between the two. There's a difference between internal health and external health. So when it comes to internally, it's going to be more or less your lungs, your heart, and all of these other different things. Your lungs, your heart, your tissues, your organs, and things like that. Those things are what's going to be a factor. Whereas when it comes down to your external, it's your skin, it is your, eyesight, things of that nature. So externally is your looks, internally is your heart, your lungs, your tissues, your kidneys, your digestive system, those type of things. And that's what's going to be the difference between the two. So when you are trying to figure out how to go about being healthy and trying to be the best version of yourself, there is a huge difference. Now, with your external health, it's all about making sure you have lotion and making sure your pores are clear and making sure there's no bruises, nothing that is going to basically be physically seen. Whereas your internal health, you don't see the damage that is done to you internally. So anything that you go through when it comes to the flu, a cold, a broken arm, a broken leg, you're not going to see it. But you may think that because a doctor tells you that your injury, like a torn ACL, is going to heal within 6 weeks, we all know that's not true. It's going to take longer than 6 weeks for it to heal. So even though somebody puts their hands on you, for example, and you're going through physical abuse or sexual abuse, the damage is internally. So you're not going to see the damage externally unless the person physically puts their hands on you. So, for example, you might see bruises, you might see a black eye, things like that. You're going to see that. But as far as the long-term damage of it, you won't see it. You won't see the long-term damage that is going to impact you in the long run when it comes to the mental health and psychological damage that is done due to these situations. So like I said, the internal health is very different than the external health when it comes to how you heal, how you recover. And if you recover at all, is it like with drug addicts, depending on what drug you use, some of them you might be able to see the damage, and others you may not be able to see the damage. It just really depends. So when you are in a situation where you just had a baby, you are going to see your stomach look different, and you're going to see maybe as when the baby comes out, you might go back to normal, and for other people, they don't. They keep that weight on. At the very bottom of your stomach, there's a muscle that you lose when you have a baby. So once you lose that particular part of your stomach, that's it when it comes down to, losing it. Unless you have surgery to repair it, it's never going to be the same. You have doctors that'll tell you that your hair will never grow back. And yet, if you continuously continue to try different things, you never know. It may actually grow back. So, a lot of times, you have a lot of doctors that'll tell you, oh, you have only 6 months to live. And then you go to an out of country doctor and they end up curing you. And now you're cancer free and the cancer doesn't come back. Ain't it amazing? And some of these people, once they get over that cure of cancer, they'll end up staying in that country and being treated there. They don't go back. Why? Because they're not going to want the cancer to return. So you have some countries where a lot of the chemicals that are in our foods can be the reason why we have allergies. The reason why we have issues with our weight could be because the chemicals that are in our foods to make our foods last longer when it comes to processed foods, and when it comes to what they inject animals, it might be the reason why we're getting Alzheimer's, dementia, why we're gaining weight. Because back in the day, when I was a kid in the 70s, people were a whole lot healthier. And most people that were overweight were not overweight for just no reason. They were overweight because they had thyroid issues or fibroid issues or digestive issues, was why. It was never just because somebody just ate. Now, every once in a while, you might have had somebody that basically, because they like to eat and because their parents did it as when they were babies, giving them bottles, and they end up overeating. So that can happen, but it wasn't as rare. So, like I said, a lot of people that were heavy were normally just because they overate or they had digestive issues or autoimmune deficiencies or different things like that. But in this society today, it is way, 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 way more people that are overweight than ever before. So we're in a situation in the United States where things are changing at a very quick rate when it comes to certain things. It's just like when it comes to marriage and relationships. The way people were then are not the same as they are now. People now are more so looking for babysitters. They're more so looking for someone to take care of them. They're more or less looking for someone like their parents that pays all the bills, buys them whatever they want, and they go out and do whatever they want to with whoever it is they choose to go out with. And don't care about how you feel or what you think about it. They're going to do what they want to anyway. So when it comes to internal health versus external health, they are done very differently. With external health, you can take some alcohol, put it on a bruise, or put some cream on it, it'll go away. If you have mosquito bites, you can put alcohol and it'll cure it. Now, if you scratch something, then it might leave a mark. Or if you bump into something or somebody hits you, you might have a bruise. Or you might have eczema, acne. You may wear glasses. Your hair might be falling out. Those are physical things that basically are based upon the physical that can impact your looks. But internally, it's about keeping the heart rate down, your sugar at a medium, keeping it at a fine line, keeping it where it's healthy. Your blood pressure, making sure your lungs are good, your organs are good, your tissues are good, your blood is good, your cells are good. That's pretty much what is your internal health. Your bones, your muscles, your mind, your psychological. So, and your five senses, because all of those things are important. So, to be able to make sure that your nervous system is healthy is the number one thing that you should be focusing on. Your nervous system and your digestive system are the two most important things that you need to keep healthy. Because if your nervous system cannot communicate to the brain when something is wrong, then you're going to end up in very bad shape. And that's normally what happens. People are so busy going through a depression and going through all of these things that they're not even paying attention to their internal health and how it's impacting them. So every choice, every decision, every action, every behavior dictates your internal health. So whatever your actions and behavior choose to do is going to impact the external part of your health. Just understand that. So people are going to do whatever they want to. But to have somebody, go through illnesses, like I said, you're not going to know if somebody got HIV or full-blown AIDS. You're not going to know that by looking at the person. You're not going to know if somebody got STDs by looking at them. You're not going to know if somebody got herpes. You're not going to know if somebody's abusive or somebody has trauma by looking at them. So when it comes to health and wellness, how do we go about being healthy internally, and how do we be healthy externally? Well, number one, you need to understand that without the internal, the external doesn't matter. The external protects the internal. That's why you have skin. That's why you have all these things, because they protect the internal part of the body from having all kinds of diseases and illnesses. Now, mind you, there are some that still do, but it doesn't change what I said. So if you make the right decisions and the right choices based on what your five senses present to you, then your external health is going to be healthy. If you work out, you're eating right, and you're getting enough sleep, then you're going to be good. Whereas someone who doesn't get enough sleep, who eats bad, you're not going to have a very good life expectancy. So it's really important that people understand that you pay attention to the things you do and make sure you're good. So that's how that works. So, like I said, you're going to have situations where every choice you make is going to affect your overall health and wellness, including the people you date, the people you're friends with, your family members, and how they treat you. All of these things are going to affect you internally, and which in terms will ooze out into externally. Because with every decision you make comes from, your feelings or your thoughts, whichever one you choose to use. Now, if you really care about your health, you're not going to be going off your emotions. You're going to be going off your intellect. You're going to be going off research. You're going to research everything before you make decisions. You're going to make sure that you know your blood type and what type of food you need to be eating as far as your blood type. You're going to make sure you manage your weight. You're going to make sure that you eat right. You're going to make sure you get enough sleep. You're going to make sure that you're not overdoing it when it comes to internally. You're going to make sure that your stomach is cleansed and that everything's going down your stomach the way it's supposed to. You're going to be checking your organs, your lungs, your tissues, all of these things, and making sure that they're good and not letting anything or anybody come between it. So that's crazy when people think it's a joke. So like I said, you're going to have people that's going to tell you all kinds of things. And you have, like, for example, you have people say to people, protein shakes are not good for people, that, using oils and butters are not good. I'm not saying that using virgin olive oil, not virgin olive oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, and the other oil is going to be good for you. No, it's not. But like I said, how are you going to make eggs or anything else without something to make sure it doesn't stick? You're going to need some type of oil or some type of butter. They do have stuff that you can use that's not butter, but it looks like butter, but it can be used just the same. And it's also less calories, and you don't have to worry about it. A lot of people are worried about their calories, and to tell you the truth, your calories are not the issue. The issue is what you're eating. Because if you're eating something healthy, and let's say it has 400 or 500 calories, but it's nothing but vegetables, that's not going to hurt you. What's going to hurt you is when you're eating stuff that's sweet or stuff that's not good for you. So it depends on what you eat, determines whether or not certain things are going to be as they are. So I'm good. So, like I said, your internal health is the most important thing. So, when you are dealing with people and situations, you need to make sure they don't affect your overall health and wellness. Another thing that affects people's overall health and wealth and wellness is when you're taking care of somebody else and you're taking care of them financially. And when you don't have the money to go to the doctor and you don't have the money to be able to get insurance, that also will hurt you as well. And the fact that these doctors won't do certain tests unless your insurance is gonna pay for it. That's another thing. That is an issue. So you definitely need somebody that's gonna be able to make sure that when it comes down to your health and going to the doctor, sometimes you may have to go out of the country. Like, there's a doctor's office that I found in Turkey, and this particular hospital basically will do every single test you need for $810. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see here. Bear with me just 1 second. I'm just trying to find it. I'm trying to find the hospital. So they have a list of hospitals. I'm trying to find the one I'm talking about. Dental. They got plastic surgery. They have all kinds of hospitals. So I'm trying to find the one in particular I'm looking for. But if I cannot find it, then I'll go from there. But they have many different hospitals. Okay, I found it. Here it is. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you all the hospital that I'm considering going to. This particular hospital I saw on TikTok through somebody else's TikTok. Okay. This particular hospital here is a hospital that let me see if y'all can see it. Okay, you can't. Let me share my screen and go to the next where I'm at. Hold on. So this particular That's it. Okay. This particular hospital here, this hospital is it right here. This is the profile of the hospital. This hospital, basically, you're able to get all kinds of tests done. This is I mean, literally everything they do. They do neurology, general surgery, orthopedics, urology. They do everything, gynecology, everything. So this is just one of the hospitals that basically, if you go, they're gonna do all kind of tests on you, tell you what exactly it is that's wrong, and they'll be able to help you. But also, there's another one that basically they do cardiology science. These are all the different doctors. This is all the stuff they do. But there are other hospitals as well. But let me stop sharing my screen and share my screen again. So there are different hospitals. I can't pronounce it. So for those of y'all on the podcast, y'all can't see it. I can't spell it. So there are different hospitals for different reasons. So they have 141 procedures, 22 doctors, and 14 specialties. And they have 4 faculties and amenities. And I'm going to spell the hospital. I'm going to spell it just for my people. Is Baskin University Istanbul Hospital. Oh, Lord, I said it right. I'm shocked. But that's a hospital I'm thinking about trying to go to get some tests done. Then you also have the Best Buy Group. This one is also in Turkey, and they take international care, patient care. So they also have payments, travel assistant arrangements, post treatment, follow up care. So they actually will help you when it comes to your arrangements as far as somewhere to stay. So they assist you when it comes to travel and a place to stay. That's what's up. Now they have this other hospital here. This is a brain hospital. So if I click on this one, they have 24 procedures. So I'm gonna read them off on the other side. Hold on. All right, so this one has orthopedics, organ transplant, bone marrow, stem cell, general surgery, cardiac, weight loss, cancer, fertility, and they probably have more, but that's pretty much what they deal with. So that's always a good thing. So they have multiple different hospitals that you can go to that will help you when it comes to your overall health and wellness. So there's just different ones. They have plastic surgery. They even have their dental implants. So these are 70 less. So you can actually see the dentist on the same day. You can do an online appointment. So while you're there getting your stuff done as far as for your test and stuff, you can also go and see a dentist as well. So you can get your veneers. These are all the people that are happy patients. So Turkey is one of the best places when it comes to your health and wellness. And for some people, they will end up leaving the United States and continuing their health when it comes to that. So that's it. There's all of these different doctors and all of these different clinics to choose from that you can go to. So there are a lot of different hospitals that you can choose from that you can go to. Depends on what it is that you need. So it just depends. So, also, Mexico, a lot of people go there for plastic surgery. So a lot of people go to many different places overseas. So for example, let's say you went and you dealt with your cancer. Do you really want to come back to the United States, or do you want to go ahead and move to where you at? So you're getting the proper care, you're getting the proper, type of foods and things that you need. Honey, some people will just go and they'll go right back home. Let me tell you how this works. They'll go ahead and start looking for, as soon as they go to the doctor, they're going to be already going and looking for a place. And they're going to go ahead and find a place. Some people may go ahead and just stay where they at and go ahead and do they stuff to stay. Especially if they find out that these doctors are the type of doctors that they need to deal with. So you may have a situation where you may have somebody that might say, I'm going to stay in Costa Rica because they have great doctors. So a lot of people are leaving the United States because of healthcare. And I ain't mad at it. So again, when it comes to the right and correct way to be healthy internally and externally, you might have to leave the United States for that. Because there are a lot of people that have said they found cures for cancer in other countries, and the United States will never even accept it. So being that there are cures for cancer, you mean to me you're not going to go ahead and use it? Okay. That's just strange to me. So it's all good. So, like I said, when it comes down to, you know, losing weight and stuff like that, you have to find out why you gained the weight in the first place. It could be multiple different reasons. It's not always because people eat. Sometimes it can be digestive issues. It can be fibroids, thyroids. It could be gallbladder infections. It could be that you're going through inflammation, a lot of gluten. It could be anything. So each person is, as an individual, different when it comes to anything that they're dealing with because their body's not mine. So how I deal with my clients, they're all different. I don't care if they're all going through weight issues. I am not going to treat each one of them the same because as far as their mental and psychological issues, as far as why they eat, are different than mine. They just are. And that's okay. So you got a choice to make. So what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm just gonna go to bed and get some sleep. But I didn't want to be in here too long because I'm getting tired. I'm about to go to bed, and I gotta get up very early in the morning. And it's raining, so this will be a great night to be able to cuddle in my bed and get comfortable and get a good night sleep. I just want a good night's sleep. So again, sleep is another thing. Some people may get 8 hours sleep. Some people may only get 7.5. So again, everybody, when it comes to how you are healthy is based upon you as an individual. Now, some things may work for some things, other people it may not work for others. That's why you have so many products to choose from. Don't choose what everybody else is doing. Find what works for you. Because there are people out there who are like you that can relate to you. So don't just deal with just anybody. So just take your time. So I wouldn't worry about it. Like I said, everything has a tendency of working out the way it's supposed to. But like I said, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. But there's gonna be a part two to this episode. It's gonna be a little bit longer. It's just I have been in my sabbatical all day, so I've been trying to get on that. I didn't even get a chance to even do my journaling today, but at least both of my podcasts are done. At least. So, like I said, is it easy going on these journeys? No, it's not. But it's worth it in the end when you see the results and you see how, different you look. But the one thing I don't like about a lot of these coaches and a lot of people on social media is they keep saying the word all and they keep putting everybody in the same category when everybody's not the same. Because what worked for one person may not work for others. That's why you have options. And that's why for me, even if I'm not the person you that can help you, I'm going to find somebody who will. So I think that's it for me, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for joining me for this episode. I will see you guys next week, and we will talk later. Bye. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on a second.